So hello and welcome to this Adobe Animate tutorial, and in this video I am going to show you how you can create a collision detection with the JavaScript. So basically we are going to have a custom mouse like so, and we are going to have one shape, and if I go with my mouse or with the shape over this other shape, it is going to disappear like so. The same thing we are going to do with the multiple shapes, and I'm going to go with F12 to open the console because I'm also console logging some stuff. So if I go like this, it is going to disappear and I'm going to have score 1. I can go with this one and it is going to be score number 2, and I can go with this one and this is going to be score number 3, and so on. A few things that I want to say before we will start. One of them is that I am not a professional with the JavaScript. I am still learning, and this way of the collision detection is the way that I somehow figure out, but there are other ways, for example hit test with the create.js, but that's something that I am still figuring out, so this is just my way of how to do this. I will also show you, but this is not for this tutorial, that we can have this also with shape like so, and this is going to be moving with my arrows, and I can get the pickups like so. And I have a tutorial about how you can move your objects with your keyboard, and I'm going to put the link in the description. So if you are going to combine that tutorial with this collision tutorial, you are going to be able to do something like this. Also, I want to show you, and I'm going to refresh this one, that we can have these things in the movement, and it is going to be also working the same way. And the last thing, but that's for like a little bit more advanced tutorial, that I created this very simple game where I am going to have these rocks, and I will have to avoid these rocks, and if not, I am going to have the collision and I am going to lose the life and so on. But this tutorial I have from one course which is on the plural side, Adobe Animate game development, and yeah. But in this tutorial we are going to create the collision detection like so, and as I said, I will put the link in the description for this movement, and this kind of tutorial we may create in the future. So yeah, right now we can go ahead to the Adobe Animate and we can start. So I will go to the Adobe Animate and I'm going to create a new document, new file, and I am going to choose that I would like to go with 800 by 800. You can choose anything, but if you would like to follow along exactly as you can go with the same size, and later on when you are going to like playing with this, you can choose other width and height. I want this to be HTML5 canvas because we are going to write JavaScript, and I'm going to keep frame rate as it is, and I'm going to click create. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two shapes. So I will go to the rectangle tool and I'm going to choose, for example, blue color, and I will get rid of the stroke. So I just want to have the fill, and with my shift to stay proportional, I'm going to create a shape like so. Now I am going to click on this shape, and while I am in the properties, I am going to change the width and height, so we are going to have like a little bit better numbers. So I am going to log this, and I am going to choose that this is going to be 100 by 100, or you can unlock this and you can manually type 100 and 100. But yep, I will go like this, and yeah. And now I'm going to create one more shape, so I will go one more time to the rectangle tool, and now I'm going to get a red color, and I'm going to create a shape which is going to be a little bit bigger, but still with the shift, and this one is going to be 200 by 200. So if you do not have this, you can change this like so, and yeah. So we are going to have one shape which is going to be 100 by 100, and one shape which is going to be 200 by 200. Now I am going to convert both of them to the symbols, so I will click on this one, I will go to the modify, convert to symbol, or F8, and I am going to call this to be, for example, blue. I want this to be movie clip, and the registration point really doesn't matter right now. If you would like to get the things directly from the library, then you would have this in the center, but for this tutorial this really doesn't matter. But I'm going to keep this in the center, and I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to do the same thing with the red one. So I'm going to click on this. I will go with the shortcut F8 and I'm going to call this to be red movie clip, and I'm going to click OK. So basically right now in the library we are going to have the blue shape and we are going to have the red shape. And now to be able to target this with the JavaScript, I will click on these shapes, and for the blue one, I'm going to create an instance name, and I'm going to call this to be blue1, for example. This name is optional, and I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to call this to be red1 like so. Now I can double click on this layer 1, and I'm going to call this to be shapes, for example, and I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to double click, and I'm going to call this to be code. And actually this code layer I am going to lock. You do not need to lock this, but I would like to log this so I am not going to be accidentally able to draw something in there, you know. But yeah, the code is going to be working the same way even if the layer is locked. But yeah, right now I can go to my first frame. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose actions, and it is going to open me this text editor. You can adjust this, but yeah, hopefully this is not your first tutorial about JavaScript in Adobe Animate, and we can just test whether this is going to be working. So I can type this dot red1 dot alpha, which is going to be opacity is going to be equal to be 0.5, and I am going to duplicate this with Ctrl D, and I am going to type that this blue one alpha is going to be equal to 0.5. This refers like to the main timeline. Red one is the name that we have created, alpha is the property, and 0.5 means 50%, 1 would mean 100%, and so on. But this is just to test this, and I will go with Control Enter, Command Enter, and yeah, I will close the other windows that I have, and yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I am actually going to get rid of this, and we will have to create somehow custom mouse, because we need something custom mouse, or we need to be able to move the object with our arrows to be able to create the collision. And I have a tutorial about the custom mouse which goes a little bit more in the details, and I'm going to put that in the description. But basically I'm going to type that this on, and we would like to have this on tick, and then I am going to call the function that I want to call. So I'm going to call custom mouse. This name is optional, and yeah. And now I'm going to create the function. So I'm going to type function custom mouse, and I am going to copy this because I do not want to misspell this. So custom mouse and parentheses, curly parentheses, and yeah. And in here I am going to make the blue one to be the custom mouse. So I'm going to type this dot blue one dot x is going to be equal to stage dot mouse x, like so, and I'm going to duplicate this line, and I'm going to make that this blue one dot y is going to be equal to stage dot mouse y. Now there is one little issue, and that's when we are inside of the functions, we cannot refer to the main timeline with the keyword this, like so. So what I will have to do is in this event listener, this on tick custom mouse, I will have to write dot bind this, like so, and make sure that you are going to have the parentheses correctly, like so. You need to have this one with this one, and this one, like so, and yeah. And this bind this is just going to allow me to write the keyword this inside of the functions. And if I go with Control Enter, Command Enter, this is what we are going to have. There is one little issue with this, and if I am going to let me go back to the Adobe Animate, and let me just click anywhere like so, and I'm going to change the color of the stage of the background to be something which is not white. Basically I would like to see where is my canvas, and I go with F12 to open the console in the Google Chrome. But right now, if I am going to zoom in, or if I am going to have this responsive, so I'm going to zoom in. Right now my mouse is not going to be where is my shape. And I do not want to make this tutorial about the custom mouse, but we cannot do this without it. But the one thing that we need to do is we need to go to the stage.mousex and we need to divide this by stage.scale x like so, and the same thing in here, stage.scale y. And yeah, I said I am going to put a link in the description for the custom mouse if you want to know this in a little bit more details. But yeah, right now we are going to have this working, even if we are going to zoom out, when we are going to zoom in, when we are going to make this in the file publish settings responsive, it is going to be working. But yeah, this is what we need to do. Now I am going to copy this line of code, Control C, and I am going to go in here like so, Control V. I can also have this in here like so, that really doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to call another function, so this on tick, and basically tick is going to check my stage like 24 times in a second, but yeah. And this on tick, and I am going to call the function which is going to be detect collision like so. I am not really sure if I am spelling this correctly, but that's not the point. The point is that we need to create the function which is going to have the same name. So I am going to copy this, and you can have this like detect call. You can get rid of this like so, or whatever. The names of the functions are optional, but yeah, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to create the function. So I'm going to type function detect collision parenthesis curly parenthesis, and yeah. Now I will close my code for the moment. And what I'm going to do is temporarily I'm going to align my red shape to the center of the stage. So I'm going to click on this and I will go to the align. If you cannot see align, you can go to the window and you can get it. But yeah, I will click on this. I will go to the align. I am going to choose align to stage, and I am going to align this horizontally and vertically. Now, this is not something that we need to do, but I want to do this because I would like to explain this little bit in detail. I will go to the view and I will go to the rulers. And this is going to give me rulers like so, and I can drag them like this. And if I'm going to put the ruler in here, it is going, and I'm going to double click, this is going to be number 0 or something like that. Okay. If I'm going to put this on the end, this is going to be 800. And if I'm going to put this to the center like so, approximately, this is going to be the 400. And the same thing with the Y position. So at the top, we are going to have this to be 0. I have like 3 point something, but this is going to be 0. In here, this is going to be 400. And at the bottom, this is going to be 800 like so. And you need to be on the selection tool to be able to double click on this. If you are going to be on the sub selection tool, or you are going to be on the free transform tool, you are not going to be able to double click, but yeah. But now what I want to do is if I click on my shape is going to be 200 by 200. And right now it is going to be positioned in the center. So if I go to the edge of this shape, this is going to be 300 because this whole thing is 200. The center is in the 400 and the half size of this is 100. So yeah, we need to little bit think about these numbers. So if I am going to double click in here, this is going to be 300. And now if I'm going to put my shape, the blue shape, next to this like so, I am going to go with my arrows. This one, as I said, the edge from the center is 100 because this is 200, and the blue one is like 100. So from the center to the edge is going to be 50. Okay, so the distance from this one, from the center of this one and the from center of the blue one, when they are going to be next to each other, is going to be 150. So yet, if I go in here, this is going to be 400, and if I go to the center of the blue one, it is going to be 250. Okay, so what we need to do with this? We are going to go back to the code, and we will have to write a couple of the conditions. So I am going to type if parentheses, and I'm going to type that if this dot red one dot x. Okay, and I am going to create a space like so, and I am going to create a comment. So red one x right now is going to be 400. And I would like to subtract the difference between these two shapes. So I'm going to type this red one x minus 150. So that's like 400 minus 150, and that's 250. That's what we saw in here. And I want to say that on the first time this can be a little bit difficult. I had to think about this a lot. It was like thinking about the infinity of the universe, but eventually I was able to think this. So yeah. So as I said, this is going to be 250. And let's say that for now I'm going to put the blue shape in here on the left side, and it is going to be like 110. So I can put this to be like 100, and I can move the shape. So we are going to compare this red one x minus 150, and we are going to compare this with this dot blue one dot x. Okay, and in here we are going to either go with bigger or smaller like so. So we have 400 minus 150, that's 250, and right now my blue one is going to be on 100. And what I want to do is I want to have this like so. So let me get rid of this like so. So we are going to compare 250, and we are going to compare 100. And when the blue one is going to be on the 100, it is not going to touch the red one. If I'm going to move blue one a little bit closer, so right now this is going to be like 210. So if I'm going to put this to be not 100 but 210, is 250 smaller than 210? Not yet. Okay, so if I'm going to move this little bit closer like so, right now this is going to be like 240. It's 240 smaller than is 240 bigger than 250? Not. But if this is going to be like 260, so when we are going to have our shape in here like so, then it is going to be, right now this is 280, but that's not the point. Then this is going to like be fine. So what I want to do is I want to set this red one x minus 150 when this is going to be smaller than this blue one x. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to console.log, and we are just going to console.log good, for example. Okay, so now if I go with Control Enter, Command Enter, like so, if I'm going to be with my shape and my mouse over here, we are not going to have the console.logs, but as soon as I go in here like so, we are going to have this console.log, and we are going to have this everywhere in here like so. So when we are going to be in here, we are not going to have nothing, and when we go in here like so, we are going to be console.logging. So I know that this can be difficult to think. I cannot explain this more. So if you are going to have a hard time, maybe try later on. But this is what we need to do. One thing that I will do is I will click on this blue shape. I will right click and I will go to the arrange. And I'm going to put the bring to front. Basically, I want this blue one to be over the red one. And now we are going to continue to create our conditions. So now we are going to go from this side to this side. So this is going to be 400. When I go to the edge of the shape, this is going to be 500. And if I go to the center of this shape, this is going to be 550. So now the other condition that I want to create, I'm going to put it in here with the end, but for now I'm going to type it in here, and later on I'm going to cut this and paste this. So I'm going to type this dot red one dot x, which is let me get rid of these numbers, which is going to be 400, and we are going to set plus 150. So 400 plus 150 is going to be 550. And we want to compare this with this dot blue one dot x. Okay, we are going to go either with bigger, or we are going to go with smaller. So imagine right now that we are going to position the blue one somewhere here like so, and I'm going to check what is the number of the x. Is going to be 710, so we can say that this is going to be 700 like so. So I'm going to cancel this. So we have the condition, this red one x plus 150, that's 550, so I will get rid of this like so, and we are going to compare this with the 700. And what I want to do is I want when the 550 is going to be bigger than 700. Right now this is not bigger. Okay, let's try to move the blue shape a little bit closer like so, and right now I am going to check this. The value, okay, this is going to be 590, so I am going to put this to be 590. Is 550 bigger than 590? Not yet. So okay, if I'm going to move this even closer, we are going to have 560. Is 550 bigger than 560? Not yet. So this condition is going to be true when we are going to get the shape like so. So when we are going to have 550, nothing is going to happen, but when we are going to have this to be 540, this is going to be true. Or when we are going to have 549. So if I'm going to have 540 or if I'm going to have 549, this condition is going to be true. So what I'm going to do is this red one x plus 150, when this is going to be bigger than this blue one x, then that's fine. So I am going to cut this, and I will go in here. So I'm going to type end. So end like so, and I'm going to paste this one. So this end means that this one condition needs to be true, and also this one condition needs to be true. For now, I'm going to keep this on the one line. At the end, we are going to put this on the multiple lines. So yeah, you will have to think about this a little bit more on your own, but yeah. So right now, if I go with Control Enter, Command Enter, when I'm going to be on this side, nothing is going to happen. If I'm going to go in here, we are going to have console.logs, but as soon as I'm going to go on this side, nothing is going to happen. And we are going to have the console logging when we are going to go closer, and yeah. But for now, we have only the X position, and we will have to also do the Y position, because right now we have the same thing, like if the shape was from the bottom to the top like so. One thing that I want to show you, and I want to emphasize this, is that right now I have this shape in the center, but if I'm going to move this maybe in here like so, this is going to be working the same way. So if I go with F12, we are not going to have console.logs, but if I go in here like so, we are going to console.log, and if I go away, we are not going to console.log. So yeah, it doesn't really matter where the shape is going to be positioned. Now let me put this back to the center like so. Align to stage like this, and we are going to do the same thing, but right now with the right position. So I'm going to type that this dot red one dot y, and I'm going to say that the red one dot not x but dot y minus 150. minus 150 because if I go, I don't know if I'm explaining this into too much detail, but in here we have 400 in the center, in here we have 300, and if I'm going to put my shape in here, this is going to be 250. So yeah, and for now I'm going to position my blue to be maybe 100 or something like that, 120, that's fine. So if this red one dot y minus 150, so that's 400 minus 150, and that's going to be equal to 250, and we are going to compare this with the blue one, which is right now on the 120, or we can say that it is going to be on 100. That's fine. So yeah, we are going to compare 250 and 100, and what I want to do is when the 100 when the X position is going to be bigger than this 250. So one more time, when we are going to move this shape a little bit like so, and I'm going to check the coordinates 210. So if I go in here and I'm going to change this to be 210, is 210 bigger than 250? Not yet. Okay, I will move this little bit more like so. Okay, like this. So right now we are going to have this like 240. So it's 240 bigger than 250. Not. We will have to go to 260 or like 251. So what we are going to write is this red one dot y minus 150 when this is going to be smaller than this dot blue one dot y. Okay, because right now we are going to be comparing the y positions. So I am just going to cut this, and I am going to go to the end of the condition, and one more time I'm going to type end. So I will go with end, and I'm going to paste this. As I said, for now I'm going to keep this on the one line. Later on we are going to separate this because this is going to be too long. And right now I am going to console.log instead of good, that this is going to be great because we are getting somewhere. So I will go with Control Enter. And right now, if I am going to be on this side, nothing is going to be happening. If I am going to be on the top, nothing is going to be happening. And if I go from the top to the bottom like so, we are going to start to console.log. And the same thing with this side, and the same thing with this side. And the last thing that we need to do is we need to take care of the bottom. So right now we are going to have this, the center is 400, the edge is going to be 500, and when I am going to put the blue shape in here, this is going to be 550. And for now, let me put this blue one to maybe 700. Okay. So the last condition that we are going to do is we are going to type that this dot red one dot y plus 150. So we are going to have 400 plus 150, and that's going to be 550 like so. So for now I am going to get rid of this like so, and we are going to compare this with the blue one dot y, which right now is going to be on the 700. And what I want to do is when this 550 is going to be bigger than 700. Okay, so right now this is going to be on the 700. Let's move this little bit closer like so. So right now this is going to be 590. So let's go to our code, and I'm going to change this to be 590. Is 550 bigger than 590? Not yet. Okay, we are going to move this a little bit like so. So right now this is going to be 260. Is 260 smaller than 200 is 550, bigger than 560, not yet. Okay, so we will have to move this like so, and right now when this is going to be 440 or smaller, this is going to be true, so like this. So we are going to type that this red 1.y plus 150 is going to be bigger than this dot blue 1.y, like so. And I am just going to cut this, and I am going to go in here, and I am going to go with the end, and I am going to paste this like so. And yeah, basically right now we are going to have this working. So when we go around like so, nothing is going to happen. But if I go with my shape in here, it is going to start console logging. The same thing in here like so, same thing in here, and the same thing in here. And as I showed you, we can position this wherever we want, and this is still going to be working. Okay, so we are going to have this like so, and yeah. Now what we are going to do is we are going to put this on the separated lines. We do not need to, but I would like to, so I will go after condition after condition. So I'm going to go where is my end, and I'm going to go with the enter, and I'm going to go with the enter, and I'm going to go with the enter like so. And with the tab I can move this like so, and I can move this like so. So yeah, so basically I have this if, and I have the first condition, the second condition, and the third one, and the last one. And these parentheses, you can play with them. I can go with the enter like so. So right now I can have this opening and closing like this. That's really up to you. Okay, so I will just go with Control Enter to make sure that I didn't mess up anything. But yeah, this is still going to be working. Right now you may ask that okay, right now we have like rectangles, but what if we are going to have some kind of oval tool? Okay, so I'm going to get an oval tool, and I'm going to create one like so, and I'm going to create one like so. So with this technique, all I could do is I could decide what is going to be my like detection points. So I would have a shape like so, and I would have the shape like so. I do not need to have them like in there, but this would be my point of like where they are going to be, where is going to be the selection, and I would have it like so basically. Okay, so yeah, and just to give you some example, I will create a new layer, and I will go to the place in here where I have my let me go to the tutorial Illustrator, and I'm going to put the shape that I have like so. So with the shape like this, what I would do basically is I would go with the rectangle tool, and I would decide that okay, I'm going to create maybe something like this, and then I would see like okay, this shape is going to be the width is going to be 140, so the half of this is going to be 70, the height is going to be 900 and 290, so the half of this would be 145, and so on. But yet I am going to delete this, and I just want to show you that right now imagine that I am going to change my mind, and this shape is not going to be 200 by 200, but it's going to be 100 by 100. So all I need to do is change this to be 100 by 100, and then if I go to my code, so I will go like this. Right now we are not going to have the 150, but we are going to have 100, because before of that we had the shape which was 200, and the other shape was 100, and like the half of 200 is 100, half of the 100 is going to be 50. like so. So if I'm going to change this, the both are going to be 100, the half of this one is going to be 50, half of this one is going to be 50. So basically what I'm going to do is I am going to change this to be 100, and this is going to be the same thing, 100, 100, and this is going to be also 100, like so. And yeah, right now if I go with Control Enter, this is still going to be working the same way. Okay, now you may think that okay, but if I do not want to have this rectangle, but I would like the height to be different. So I am going to unlock this, and I'm going to say that the height is going to be 200. So we are going to have this 100 by 200, and I am choosing these numbers because I want to make this simpler. I could make this to be 112, and I can make this to be like 222, and yet so the half of this would be 111, and half of this would be like 56, but yeah, so I want to make this simpler. So this is going to be 100, and this is going to be 200. So now what we would do is when the x is going to be 100, we do not need to change this. This one we do not need to change, but the y is going to be 200 and 100. So yeah, as I showed you, this is 100, and this is going to be one more time 50. So we are not going to change the x, but we are going to change the y to be 150, and the y to be 150. And yeah, right now I am going to have this like so, and this is still going to be working like so. Okay, fine. And yeah. Now one more thing, that this is very optional, but I just want to show you that if you would like to, you can store this red one x and this blue one x into variable. So what I could do, but this is, I just want to show you this. I can go with red one x, for example, and I can set that red one x is going to be equal to be this dot red one x, and I can type that, I can duplicate this, and I can go that let red one y is going to be equal to this red one y, and this name is optional. And I can, in my condition, instead of writing this dot red one x, I can type red one x, because red one x is the same as this red one x, and I could do this like so, I could do this like so, and so on. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that there is this option, but we are not going to go with this. Now there is still going to be a little issue. Let's imagine that we are going to create a variable which is going to be score. So I'm going to type in here let score is going to be equal to 0. And in the condition, when the condition is going to be true, I'm going to type that score plus plus, which means like score is going to increase by 1, and then I'm going to console.log the score. Okay, but right now what is going to happen is that if I go in here, we are going to have this score, and we are going to have like 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, but we would like to have the score only once. So what can we do? One thing that we are going to do before of that is when we are going to have the collision, we are going to hide the shape. So what I'm going to do is I am going to at the beginning, but you can also type it at the end, it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to type that this dot red one dot visible is going to be equal to false. Okay, and right now if I go with the Control Enter, Command Enter, if I go over with my mouse, it is going to disappear, but still there is going to be this console.log because the shape is not visible, but it is still in there. So what we are going to do, and that's going to be last thing for this one, we are going to set one more condition in this if statement. So I'm going to type that end, and I'm going to type in here that this dot red one dot visible is going to be equal to false. Okay, we are comparing, so we are going to use double or triple equal sign. I prefer triple, but that's the double is going to be working the same way. There is little difference, but that's not for this tutorial. So we are going to but I want this to be true. So when this red one visible is going to be true. So we are going to have all of this condition, but when we are going to go with the shape over this shape, we are going to change this red one visible is going to be false. So this condition is no longer going to be true. So yeah, try to think about it. But right now, if I go with Control Enter, this is only going to happen once, and we are going to have only one, and that's it. So yeah, this is basically everything for this one, but I also want to show you, and I know that this tutorial is going to be really long, but I also want to show you how you can make this with more shapes. This is going to be a little bit more advanced because we are going to use for loop and arrays, and I won't be able to explain for loop and arrays in this tutorial, so hopefully you know, but yeah. So now what I'm going to do, first of all, is I am going to save this. So I will go with Control S, and I will go in here, and I'm going to create a folder which is going to be Animate 1, and I will go inside, and I'm going to call this to be collision, for example, and I'm going to click save, and I'm going to provide you this file. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this one more time. So I will go with Save As, and I also recommend you to do this because you do not want to mess up this file. So I'm going to create new folder which is going to be animate number 2, and I will go inside, and I'm going to save this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will put this red one back to 100. So I am going to unlock this, and I am going to make the height to be 100, and I will go back to my code, and I am going to change this to be 100 and this to be 100, like so, and yeah. Now I am going to create more shapes. So I am going to duplicate this, and I am going to duplicate this, and I am going to call this to be red 1. This one I am going to call to be red number 2, and this one I am going to call to be red number 3. Later on we can put more shapes, but for now I will go with 3. And now what I'm going to do is somewhere in here, maybe I can go in here. I am going to create an array. So I'm going to create let my reds. Usually when you go with arrays, you can go with const, but I don't want to go with that one. So I will go let my reds is going to be equal an array. So the brackets, and I am going to type in here that I want to have this red 1. Comma, this dot red 2, comma, and this dot red number 3, and like so. And in here you do not want to have the comma, you want to have the commas only in between of them. So we are going to have a variable array, and it is going to contain this red 1, it is going to contain this red 2, and it is going to contain this red 3. And now what I'm going to do is in the detect collision function, I'm going to create a for loop. So I'm going to type for, and I'm going to type let I is going to be equal to 0, because arrays are 0 base. So this is index 0, this is index 1, and this is going to be index 2. And we want this to be while I is going to be smaller than number 3. So you can type it like so, and we are going to type I++. But instead of typing that I is going to be smaller than 3, I am going to type that I is going to be smaller than my reds dot length, because the length of my reds is going to be 3, because we have 3 items. So they are 0 base. So this is index 0, this is 1, this is 0, this is 2, but the length is going to be number 3. So we can keep this for now to be number 3, but if we are going to put more shapes, then this is not going to be working properly, but yeah. So for now I can go with the 3, that really doesn't matter. And I'm going to create curly parentheses, and all of this So all of this that we have, the if statement, and what is going to happen if this is going to be true. Everything we are going to put to the for loop. Okay, and I will go with the tab to make this little bit like so, and to make this little bit like so. So we just want to make sure that we are going to have this correctly. So we are going to have the function which has opening in here and closing in here. Then we have the for loop which has opening in here and closing in here. Then we have the if statement which has opening in here and closing in here. And then what is going to happen when we are going to have this condition to be correct. So for now I am going to get rid of the last condition. This red one visible is going to be true, so I'm going to delete this, and I'm also going to delete this last end, because when you are going to have end and nothing after, then you are going to have an error. And for now I am going to get rid of everything. We are just going to console.log, and I am going to just comment out this score plus plus and console.log score. So what we are going to do, and let me move this little bit like so with the tab. I am going to have this red one.x, this red one.x, this red one.y, and this red one.y. And I have my reds, and my reds contains this red one, this red 2, and this red 3. And we are in the for loop. So what I'm going to do is instead of this red one.x, I am going to type that my reds I, so my reds is going to be 0, it's going to be 1, and it's going to be 2. So it's going to be this one, it's going to be this one, and it's going to be this one. So my reds I.x minus 100. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So my reds I.x, my reds I.y, and my reds I.y like so. So yeah, basically this is all that we need to do just to replace this dot red one x, this dot red one with my reds dot y like so. And right now if I go with control enter, command enter to see this in the browser, if I go with this one, we are going to have console logging. If I go with this one, we are going to have console logging. And if I go with this one, we are going to have console logging. Now I will just go to the shape, and I will right click on this. I will go to the arrange, and one more time I will go bring to front, and yeah. And now I can uncomment the score, and I can uncomment the console.logging of the score. So right now we are going to have the same thing, and we are going to console.logging this like so, and like so. So yeah, one more time we are going to make them invisible. So in here I am going to type that my reds I dot visible is going to be equal to false like so. So I will go with control enter, and right now they are going to disappear, but we are still going to be console logging, and like this and like this. So one more time we are going to create the same condition. I am going to in here type that end, and I will go to the new line like so, and I am going to type that other condition, the last one is my reds I dot visible is going to be equal to be true. Okay, so something like this, and I will go with control enter, and right now we are going to make this disappear, and we are just going to have this once, great. We are going to have number 2, great, and we are going to have number 3, great. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create 2 more shapes. So I'm going to duplicate this one with the alt or option. This is going to be number 4, and this is going to be number 5. So I'm going to put this number 4, and I'm going to put this to be number 5 like so, and I will go to my code, and I will have to put to my array my reds with the comma. So this is going to be this dot red number 4, and I am going to copy this like so, and this is going to be this red number 5 like so. And right now if I go with control enter, we are going to have only the 3 of them, only this one, and this one, and this one, and this one is not going to be working, because in the for loop we set this to be, let me see where I have this as a 3. Now this is going to be 5. So that's why I prefer to have this as myrets dot length, because it doesn't matter how many items I'm going to put in there, it is still going to update. So right now, if I go with Control Enter, this is what we are going to have. And I don't know why I have this in here, but yeah. So yeah, basically, this is it. This is all. Right now I can go ahead and save this, and I have saved this, and I can publish this. So I can go to the file, I can go to the publish settings, and I am going to change this from the texture to the sprite sheet. You can keep this as a texture, but I prefer when I'm working with the vectors and JavaScript to put this on the sprite sheet. So I will go like this, and I'm going to go with OK, and I will go with file, and I will go with publish. And right now, if I go to the place where I have this, so this is the second one, I am going to have some HTML, and I can open this, and we are going to have this like so, and I am going to have also the JavaScript. If I want, I can delete this, and I can delete this, and I can go back to the Adobe Animate, and I can go to the file, publish settings, and I can go to this little folder, and in here I can choose the publish location. So right now I will go to the place where I have this in here, animate number 2, and I'm going to create new folder which I'm going to call to be index, and I can go inside and I can call this to be collision.js. I can click save, and I can click OK, and I can go with file and publish. And basically right now we are going to have this in this index folder, and yeah. But yeah. This is basically it. This is all. If anyone have been here until the end, congratulations. I hope that you are going to be able to use this in your projects. And I know that this tutorial was very long. You can type me in the comments if you have been here until the end, and I am going to provide you both the files that we have created with the one shape and with the more shapes, and yeah. So this was also enough for me. So yeah, thank you very much, and yeah, take care. Goodbye.